I swear, I got the sauce. 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 I got the sauce.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fans of the Raw Spotlight podcast. We are thankful here to get going and starting this new season here based on our sponsorship with Buffalo Wild Wings. We're very proud to be a sponsor of theirs and their passion as we have at Connected Athletics in promoting high school student athletes and coaches here in the great state of Texas. As we go into tonight, we've got two very special guests from Earl Warren High School in the San Antonio area. They're off to a great start. You see on one of the windows here, head coach Josh Littrell, and you see his starting quarterback, Antonio Meza, who are off to a great start of the season and off to some pretty good stats from a player perspective from Antonio. As we get into the interview, once again, we want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings. We want to thank Earl Warren High School and the Booster Club for making this partnership happen. But let's just jump right in here and introduce our two guests here. So Coach Josh Littrell, you're the head coach at Warren. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your program.
Yeah, I just got this my third season back at Warren. I'm the head coach. I was here as the offensive coordinator for 6 years early on in the early 2000s before I jumped back in the college game. I was a college head coach before I came back here up at Waldorf University in Iowa. So deciding to make the change back to high school to come back to Texas where football is important and where we spent most of our time recruiting anyway. So it's nice to be able to come back and Warren's a special place, a special community. And so we're just trying to get it back to where it was at one time.
Absolutely. That sounds great, Coach. And then we also have a class of 24 quarterback for Warren High School, Antonio Meza. Antonio, am I saying that right?
It's Meza.
Meza.
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I got it correct. Antonio Meza, who's off to a great start and leading his team to a 3-0 record. Antonio, tell us a little bit about what your experience so far in the start of the 22 season.
It's been really fun just being with the guys every day and just we've been putting up some pretty big numbers, which has really been fun. I've been starting for 2 years, and all my years of football, this is the most excited I've been about in a season. So, like I said, it's just been really fun, and I love being with the guys.
Great start. Tell us, so you guys are 3-0 right now. You had a big win against, the Holmes team here, 63-0. Coach, tell us a little bit about that win and how important it is to set you up going into a district coming up.
Yeah, that was the first district game. And so when we got into it, we try to take, the most important game is the next game. And that's kind of our approach, until we get back to where we're continuously in the playoffs, doing what we need to be doing. We're taking that one game approach. And so every game's a playoff game. And we jumped on them early. We had a great opportunity. We played all three phases of the game very well. We played on their side of the field, quite often. And I think it was 56-0 at halftime. And it was just because our defense and special teams put the offense in great situation. And like Antonio said, he's blessed to have, some receivers that understand the system that we run. It's not a traditional system. It's old school run and shoot, so it's kind of, it's been fun to do something different. And so this is the first year with this offense. And like Tony said, we've been able to put up some numbers the first couple of weeks, and hopefully, we continue on with that. But everything's going pretty well. We got a big game this week against Jay, in our second game of the season. It's been a long time since Warren started off 4-0, so hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Coach, you talk about those stats. Antonio, talk to us about that. I could say it for you, but I'd like to hear it from you. You had some big numbers in what, Coach, a half of work or 3 quarters?
Yeah, I only barely even, the finish at 2 quarters. We took him out, and he had 5 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers, and so it was I think he's at 14 touchdowns through 3 games right now, and so with 0 interceptions. I think that's the stat I'm more excited about, is him protecting the football and taking care of it, and then just putting our receivers in good positions and helping them be successful.
Antonio, let's go into detail on that. College coaches are going to watch this podcast and hear these great stats. Talk to us about your preparation. Talk about what you did during the summer to get a better connection with your receivers, and then obviously trusting the scouting report that Coach and his staff put together and putting up numbers. And I agree with Coach. The touchdown passes are great, but having 0 interceptions going 3 games in is something that's very hard. Tell us about what you've done to have that kind of performance so far through 3 games.
So in the summer, me and the guys, it started last year, really, when the season ended. I kind of knew who the group was going to be this year with the receivers. So we took each other in. We got really close through that time in off season, and we just had each other's backs ever since then. We haven't turned back. We're best friends off the field. You'll never not see us together. So that was one of the things that I guess helped our chemistry, just being on the same page with everything, being out there. And then through the summer, we were almost at the school every day. So it felt like we were together pretty much every day. And then, but no, all the credit goes to the O-line for this last week. I didn't get touched. I didn't get sacked. So for me to not take any sacks in a half of football, I think that's great. And plenty of time to throw the ball. I'm seeing the game a lot slower. So it's been a lot different from last year. I felt like I was rushing things last year, where this year I think that things have just slowed down for me, and just identifying things pre-snap and just being smart about where I go with the ball. I've thrown more checkdowns this year than I threw last year within 3 games. So I think just the growth, the help from Coach Littrell, the faith he has in me, it builds my confidence, and the O-line just giving me time to throw the ball. The running backs too doing their job, and we got the run game going too. So it kind of helps out with the pass game, and the receivers they know what we're doing. They're pretty smart on the edge and on the inside. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Antonio, I love that you mentioned the importance of your O-line. Let's show them some love, because obviously people are going to watch. It's like, of course, they've got the head coach and the quarterback. But show you guys some love. Who are those starting 5 right in front who are protecting you from hitting the ground and allowing you to put up these big numbers? Why don't you shout them out real quick?
Okay, so left tackle, we got Joaquin Rocha. Left guard, we got Kyle Sturgeon. Center, we got Garrett Hermes. Right guard, Tristan Cantu. And right tackle, Matthew Mangana.
Now, tell these coaches who are going to watch this, and probably an extension of Coach Littrell, you said, do you handle pass protection? Are you modifying blocking based on blitz packages you see in the scouting report? Tell us about the non-throwing part of being a quarterback. Well, how has that impacted your game this year?
Yeah, so we have protections. The O-line just kind of helps me out through it. If I call it protection one way and they make me right, if I call it the wrong way, they make me right. So it's just really communication at the front of the line, because we got a million other things going out on the edges that people really don't know about. So it's just communication with the line. If I'm wrong, they'll make me right. But usually most of the time, that's how we get through it. So
yeah. Coach Josh, let me ask you, as a former high school and college coach myself, I mean, the second part of what Antonio said that impresses me is that he's spreading the ball around, throwing touchdown passes to 5 different receivers. Is that something that you kind of put very focus on for him during the week, to throw the ball to the guy who's open, instead of the old, like, hey, that's our best receiver, just throw it up and let him go get it? What's the mindset of the Warren program?
Well, last year, Antonio took some, hits in the backfield, and I'm, looking into the future, you always want to protect your quarterback. And I knew, I'd called offense for, 18 years and running the shotgun and doing everything like that. I'm like, we're not going to hold up, personnel wise. You can't recruit in high school. You got what you got.
Right.
And so, we wanted to do what was best. So we flew my old college coach in, Manny Matsakis, from Emporia State, and we installed the run and shoot in December. And from there, we just hit the ground running, where this offense is truly designed, to attack the weakness of the defense. And so it's, everybody touches the ball every practice, in the old traditional, like you said, last year our 2 guys touched the ball. Well, it gets easy to defend, but we had 10 different guys last week catch a football. And so, it's fun. Really, it's fun. And so if we can understand and we can protect the quarterback, the system is built to, there's multiple read routes built into everything. So the quarterback, if he sets the protections right and his eyes are right, good. We got a good chance of things being successful.
Absolutely. No, I love that. It's, as a former defense coordinator, it's hard when a team distributes the ball equally. And Antonio mentioned it. Run game's working. We're spread the ball around. You mentioned that you had some scores on special teams. That's a team that's going to be hard to beat. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys continue that going into the season here, because that's when you're strong in all 3 phases. It's hard to find a weakness.
Yeah, it's been good for us. Our schedule is going to get a lot tougher, but we knew that we needed to try to jump out early and go and try to, if we could be blessed and be 4-0, you know, we're going to have a stretch here in a minute. It's going to get real tough. You know, we got a lot of good teams in our district and a lot of coaches that do a lot of great job. But if we can ride momentum, I mean, you know, it's momentum's a tough thing, and it's really hard to get. But it just like that, it's gone too. So, you know, we've really been preaching to the guys about that. And we're under the center. There's not a lot of teams that are under the center anymore.
Yeah,
and so, you know, when we're talking about Antonio and colleges and stuff like that, I mean, when we're seeing his feet dropping, you know, 7 yards every time, you know, and rolling, I mean, you know, coaches will take notice to that. And he's still being able to have his eyes downfield. And so, you know, it's been fun. It's been fun, and Antonio's made it fun.
Great. Antonio, talk about that. I know you watch, look at film all the time, get ready for next opponents, and obviously you're here in Texas. You know, everybody's out of gun and everything, and here you are under center with a 1, 3, and 5 step drop. I mean, tell us about that experience, because I know college coaches are going to love that, because it shows you have good footwork and understand the importance of the drop instead of just catching the ball and letting it rip. What's your mindset on that?
Yeah. So when we flew Coach Manny down, you know, it felt a little weird because we do a little quarter roll. And it felt weird at first, but I said, you know, if this is what I got to do to get this team going and head in the right direction, then I'm going to do it. So, really just put everyone before myself in that situation and just rolled with it. And I think once we started getting a hang of what we were doing, I was like, I kind of like this. This is really fun for me. And I never looked back. So, you know, to have the season that we're having right now and continue to have it going under center, if that's what was needed, then I would roll with that 100 times. So
I love that team first attitude. Antonio, let's shift messages here as we get ready towards the end of this interview. We know in recruiting how important academics are. Tell these coaches that are going to watch this podcast, tell them about you academically. What is your core GPA, if you know it? You taking any AP courses? Kind of give these coaches a little brief overview of your academic status.
Yes, sir. So I have a 3.5 GPA. You know, I struggle sometimes, but I make sure that I get my work. It's kind of, you know, I have a hard time with procrastination just because of everything that's going on, but everybody's got. So, but at the end of the day, I know what's important, and I know my dad and my mom stressed to me that school is going to come first. You know, you're going to have football for so long. God's going to only give you football for so long. It's what you do with it, you get an education, and, you know, make an opportunity for yourself. So I understand the importance of that. And the main thing is I understand the importance of that.
Yeah, no, you mentioned a big part of it. I know I'm going to have Coach talk this in a minute here, but as a former college coach, time management in high school, it's important. In college, it's critical. Josh, from your experience, I mean, I'm sure you're telling your players all the time that want to play in college, the importance of managing your time and knowing I got to be at this time, but this is the classes, study hall, position meetings. I'm sure you share that kind of information with Antonio and your other college prospects, right?
Yeah, it's a must, and you know, it's a quality that you got to have. If I'm going to put my name on one of our kids to a college coach, especially if I know them, I'm not going to sell them a bad bit of goods. You know, I want them to understand what they're getting. I want our kids to understand what they're getting into. You don't have mom and dad around anymore when you get to college, and that's the toughest thing for freshmen. That's why a lot of freshmen, you know, don't succeed in college right off the bat, because mom and dad are back home, and you know, that time management is everything. And so we try to, you know, I mean, you know, if you're on time, you're late, you know, and so we try to have everybody do what they need to be, you know, in high school to get them ready, you know, for when they do have but even if they don't go to college, you know, I mean, job, whatever it might be, we want these kids being first class in everything they do. So, I mean, we preach that pretty much regularly, and we have a standard of performance we live by, and hopefully that carries over with these kiddos when they have an opportunity, because we're going to have an opportunity. We got some kids that can go to play in college, you know, over the next few years for sure. And Antonio's class is real strong. And so, you know, I'll be anxious to get those college coaches in, and hopefully some of our kids meet their needs.
Yeah. So Antonio, your class is 24, obviously. Do you have an idea what you might want to major in when you do get to college in 2 years?
Kinesiology.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of just.
I hate to assume, but one of my favorite questions is, when football's all over, whatever that is, whether it's after a 10-year career or after college, what do you want your life to look like once your eligibility or your football days are over? What do you want to do as a profession? Do you want to have a family? Tell us a little about your goals post football.
Yes, I plan on having a family. My family, I feel like, has motivated me more than anything. They've shown me the most support. I have 3 sisters, and playing football is not like easily to manage for the parents. Catering to all 3 sisters, so they support me. All of them support me. So I just want to have that for my own family, just a support system, just to get each other through life. And then I'm not sure what I want to do professionally. I've thought about doing training, but obviously, have to go to school for that. So, I mean, we're still getting there with that. So,
Yeah. Okay, I like it. Well, for all the fans of the Warren High School Warriors, there, guys. I mean, as you're getting ready for the away game coming up here against Jay, would highly recommend during the week go out if you want to support Coach Josh and Antonio as they go through the rest of the season. Get out to your local Buffalo Wild Wings, get some wings. Everything that you eat or drink or have dessert at the sports bar, mention the name of the school, Warren Warriors, and 10% of your bill will get donated back to the Booster Club to help Coach Josh and some of the other sports at Warren High School be more productive and helping the student athletes be successful. As we finish up, Coach, yes, you said your second district game on the road. Tell us what the fans could look forward to seeing on Friday night.
Yeah, they're going to see a team that's going to come out hungry. Hey, we got the brand new white helmets, so we got another set of helmets. So they're fresh. We just broke them out this week, so the kids look like Christmas the other day at school, and so everybody's jacked up. And now we're going to play. Hey, we're going to play tough, hard hat mentality football. You're going to see good sportsmanship, but we're going to play snap the whistle, and like I said, hopefully it works out for the good guys, but like I said, every moment in football, we have an opportunity to teach these young men how to be successful and how to be better in life, and football is the greatest sport in the world to be able to do that for these young men. So we look forward to it. We appreciate Buffalo Wild Wings. Took my staff in there last week, had a great time. The management was great to us. Made us feel real special when we went in there, and it helped to see our highlights on the TV of Antonio and his buddies out there rocking and rolling on the football field. But I appreciate you, Anthony, for allowing us to be on here tonight and to get Warren out there. It's real important. So I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys. I love that you're doing there and doing it the right way. And I'll be down there to see a game here, and we'll probably have another podcast interview towards the end of the season. You guys are getting ready for the playoffs and getting ready for a deep run. Antonio, thank you for your time tonight, man. Have a great game Friday night. Coach, good luck to you and your staff and the community there. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you down the road here.
All right, Anthony. Have a great night.
All right, you guys too. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.